Hey guys, I wanted to do another recap or overview of Chapter 12. And Chapter 12 this week is miter joints, and it starts on page 193. A miter joint is an angle joint that hides the end grain. And a lot of what we do in woodworking is to try to hide the end grain. The end of each piece is usually cut at a 45-degree angle to form a perfect right angle or a perfect 90 degrees when two pieces are joined together. These can be found in a plethora, word of the day, plethora of spaces within your home. And the example that they give is the molding on the top of this beautiful pine cabinet. I love it. I know it's pine because of all these beautiful knots in it. What a nice cabinet. And then it goes on to show you a couple examples of where you might see a miter on an edge where they stand up like the Nearpod, on an flat end where you might see a picture frame, and then they show you a few ways to strengthen it. Biscuits, keys, dowels, and then splines are a couple of ways that they can be strengthened. They show you an old-fashioned miter box with a handsaw that would have been used to cut miters. You can still find them around. Look at this. This is pretty neat. These are a real quick resource. If I was going to make a three-sided triangle, I would use the angles of 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, and that would give me that. With two 45s on each side, I can get a 90 and I can make a perfect square or a rectangle. For a five-sided shape, the angle would be 54, six-sided 60 degrees, and the eight-sided 67.5. Really neat. The geometry. How about that? Some of you might be in geometry right now. And you start to think, well, that's an area where I could actually use geometry. And it goes on to talk about cutting the frame parts and assembling the frame. You can read through that. Angles for polygon miters shows you how to figure it out. Again, remember that it's geometry. Math is important. And then they start to show you examples of how the miters might be cut. You can read all about that in the 5 steps of how to cut the miter, how to lay it out. And then lastly, they're going to talk about the assembly. And then they're going to talk about the usage of a power miter box. We sometimes call it a chop saw. Also, we call it a compound miter box, and that's what it is. A power miter box makes quick work of cutting miters at a variety of angles. It features indexed plates that allow you to adjust to different angles, so like 45, 22 and a half, even sometimes they'll give you 60. And then it goes on to start talking about these compound miters at the very back. And then lastly, I have 8 really easy questions for you, and I've posted those in Google Classroom. If you have any questions about Chapter 12 miters, reach out to me. I'll be able to talk. We could talk all about miters if you'd like. All right, I'll see you all soon. Bye now.